It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. It's Tuesday, July 29th. I missed you guys on my Monday day off. Oh my goodness. This was just so hard. I had withdrawals. I really missed you guys. I'm so happy to be back in my comfort zone with my dosers. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. 3 days without me. Did you guys survive? Did you have the shakes? I had the shakes, but I had such an incredible time in Chicago with Zach doing his 10 years activated tour. And I have so much to cover today. 3 days off. Oh my goodness. We have so much to talk about between Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Denise Richards, Kelley Wolf. What other stories do I want to cover today? Oh, I've got like a whole list. Diddy. Do I even want to talk about how Diddy wants to get released from prison? And what I said on my stories earlier was I also want, a really, really tight ass and $1 million. So we all want things. And the question is, do we get what we want in life? So much to talk about. Can we talk about Sydney Sweeney? Sure. Why not? People want to cancel me left and right. Let's just add it to the list. So, Michelle, we can talk about Janae and Kenny on Love Island because that was actually the season I watched. Let's talk about it all. Let's go there. We have so much to talk about, you guys. You ready? Are you ready to get into it? Are your arms ready? Are your arms ready to go into it? You guys want to know why my arms are feeling buff? It's because I'm sprinklering left and right. I just go through Chicago and sprinkler. I missed you guys. It is your one and only daily dose of Donna. Can we give a warm welcome to Pamela? It's her first time catching a live. Are you sure you want to be here? This is a scary place to be sometimes. Just kidding. This is the most fun place you can be. Honestly, this may be the most fun place on the internet. I just want you to know. We have a good time here. We really do. We laugh, we cry, sometimes we dance. We do it all over on Daily Dose of Donna. We talk smack. We talk facts. We even make jokes that people then clip, put it on their Twitter accounts, and say they are threatening. They're bullying. I got called all the names this weekend. All the names. Not in real life. No one would dare call me these things in real life, but behind my back. People love to throw out all the things about me behind my back, right? I get called all the things. Misogynist, homophobe, even though one of my best friends is gay. That's okay. Racist, even though I'm friends with everyone from all walks of life, all diversities. But, of course, I'm still racist. All of those things. Don't you worry. I get called all the things. That's okay. Do you guys want to know why I look different today? It's because my skin got thicker. That's what it is. I gained a pound of skin. That's how you guys get stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Let them talk. It's a smear campaign, and I'm going to subpoena every single one of those trolls. I'm going to subpoena them. Because that's what you're supposed to do, right? It's a smear campaign against us. Listen, I am okay with it. Here's the thing. I think it's frustrating sometimes when you can continue to do and say and whatever, and it's just like, it's not getting through to people that like, no. I like gay people. I like women. I like gay people and women. In fact, I like gay women. I watched The Hunting Wives. Have you guys watched The Hunting Wives? Here's one thing I've learned. Don't watch The Hunting Wives on a plane. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Watching The Hunting Wives on a plane will get you stares. The Hunting Wives is a new show on Netflix. It's with Brittany Snow and Malin Ackerman. And it's about a group. I'm only 3 episodes in, so this is no spoilers. We're not spoiling. But I was 3 episodes in, and I was on a plane. And when I tell you, lesbians, there's a lot of lesbian love. Okay. There's also straight love, but there's lesbian love. And I was like minimizing that screen as small as possible on my computer. Like I was watching lesbian love this small on my computer as to not scare the shit out of every single other person around me. I was like, It's research. Research. I have a podcast. It's just research." I got like all uncomfortable about it. Suki says, lesbian here. Wouldn't be here if I thought Donna wasn't an ally. I'm an ally. I'll show you I'm an ally. Huge ally. I love the gays. Love me some gays and lesbians. As long as they like us back, you know? Yeah. Donna was getting excited. Lance is probably like, the other night I was watching an episode of Hunting Wives, and he did walk in and he was like, "Oh, look at that. It's Missy. See, there you go. Pakistani here. Wouldn't be here if I thought Donna was racist. God, I love you." And I was watching Hunting Wives, and Lance walked in and he's like, "I always thought there was a little bit of lesbian in you, but can't help it. Women are hot. I'm just being honest. Women are freaking smoke shows. Like we go back to that episode on Friday, okay? Some of those men, we don't want dick pics. Standing by that comment. But girls are hot." All right, let's get into the show. The Hunting Wives, I will say, is a show that I will be honest about. I can't tell if I like it or not, and I can't stop watching it. It's one of those shows that, like, literally, you're not sure if it's good or not, and you can't. I can't quit you. I can't quit it. So try it. It's on Netflix. I'm not really sure what I think of it, but it's a whodunit type of show. So I'm not going to spoil it, but watch it. Tell me what you think. Okay, let's get into the show. We have so much to talk about. I want to get into all of it, of course, and there's so much going on, and it's breaking news because it's happening this morning, literally live. It's really unreal. There's a lot going on. And before we go into it, I definitely want to tell you guys about this week's sponsor, which is Function. I choose Function because it's the only health platform that gives you access to the kind of data most people never see and the insights to actually take action. Inside Function, you can test over 160 biomarkers from heart and hormones to toxins, inflammation, and stress. You can also access multi-region MRI and CT scans, all tracked in one secure place over time. It's an enhanced view of what's happening in your body. And that's why top health leaders like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Jeremy London are all behind Function Health. Every year, this season shows up with the same demands: new routines, shifting weather, and a heightened focus on immune health. Most people think preparing means stocking up on vitamins and hand sanitizer, but real preparation starts inside your body long before the first cough or cold. Whether you're sending kids back to school, I can't believe we're almost there already. That's crazy. Or just stepping into a busier season yourself, it's time to recalibrate. To see what your immune system needs and fill the gaps early, these are the biomarkers worth considering checking this time of year: your vitamin D, E, zinc, ferritin, white blood cell, cortisol. Routine physicals can skip this data, so you're left guessing why you feel depleted, why colds linger, why you're struggling to bounce back after summer festivities. But you don't have to guess, because Function includes over 160 plus lab tests, so you can better see what's happening under the surface. What's cool, you guys, about Function is I went and got my first. There's 2 blood draws. I went and got my first on Friday morning. It was no problem. I scheduled it through the app, and I had a little bit of a scheduling issue. So I just chatted with them and they scheduled it for me. They rescheduled it. It's like no problem. They help you out. It's really, really easy to do. I walked in there, got my blood drawn. They were like, Function, no problem. We get so many Function people coming in here. It's through Quest Labs. It's easy. Learn more and join using my link. Visit www.functionhealth.com/Donna. That's DANA. All right, let's get into today's show. Here's the link. I'm putting it up there. Thanks, Christina, functionhealth.com/Donna. Okay, so let's let's get into the show. I see that there's a lot going on with the Blake Lively story, and I want to just touch on it because obviously there's a lot of misinformation. Shocker. There's misinformation in the media. Shocker. In case you're wondering why I'm so frustrated every day of my life trying to stay on the right side of history, it is beyond frustrating, but this is the truth. There's misinformation in the media when it comes to everything from world news to Blake Lively. Here's what I know, and I'm just going to be honest when it comes to like the law and the legal documents. There are people out there that their life is to read the docket in the terms of the blank. That should be her name, Blank Lively. Can we change her name to Blank Lively? In terms of Blake Lively, there are people that you can follow here that are lawyers, like people that cover the docket top to bottom. Lauren Knighty from Court of Random Opinion, even though she was one of the creators that was subpoenaed in the case, she is someone that you can follow who covers the docket top to bottom. She knows exactly what is going on. I am not that person. I cover the pop culture aspect of it and just kind of the big happenings that are going on. I'm not as interested in the minutia of the docket, but I do like to tell you guys what is going on from like a zoomed out perspective, because I hate the injustice of the case and I hate the double standard and the hypocrisy of the case. Oh my God, I have a hair on my eye and it's go away. I can't find I found it. Okay. So it's killing me, that side of it and the unfairness that I think is happening. And that the audience is not seeing, like the people that are not paying attention so much, which is a lot of people, they're not seeing the reality of what's happening in inside the case. Plus, there's a lot of creators out there, not a lot, there's a few creators out there that are on Blake Lively's side that are twisting the facts and manipulating her audience, because there's a lot of people out there that don't want to read the law as well and don't want to read the docket, and they're just taking their information from some creators. It's very indicative of what happens in the world right now, where people don't want to do their research. They just watch a few videos on TikTok and then they think that they know the world news. And so they are just learning all of their information from a few different creators and they're manipulating the facts. It's very, very frustrating. So basically, from what I know, Blake Lively and her team obviously subpoenaed 43 content creators that we know of through X, Google, and um, X, Google, and TikTok last month or over the last month. People started to file their motions to quash content creators. Some did on their own, like Lauren Knighty did it on her own, and some hired attorneys. Either way, it was very stressful. I'm friends with a lot of these people, so I know that they do this. I'm friends with a lot of these people. I recognize the stress that it put on them. I recognize the mental anguish that it put on them. A lot of them lost sleep over it. A lot of them got worried. What does this mean for my content? What does this mean for my business? Do you guys, I'll never forget Ashley Brianna Eve that first day. She literally was panicking about like, do I have to worry about my farm animals? Will I lose my home? I mean, people that aren't used to getting involved in court cases and getting involved with attorneys, this is an incredibly scary, scary experience. I didn't get subpoenaed myself, and I am lucky enough that I have enough support and stuff. And I live in Los Angeles. I have friends with people that are entertainment attorneys, et cetera. My friends are married to entertainment attorneys. But there are people out there that are not in that world. Like I always think about Ashley, who is a brand and marketing person, and she just covered this from that angle. But she's like a little farmer girl that gardens. Like she's amazing. And oh, there's Zachy. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do a Patreon later, and I'm gonna tell everyone all about our time in Chicago. We should do a video Patreon. I'm gonna have you come on my show. So So anyway, I always think about that, like from the human angle, what a stressful situation that was. Everyone eventually, not everyone, but many creators submitted their motions to quash. And there were hiccups in that process, and then eventually, one by one, Ezra Hudson and that's Blank Lively's attorney, eventually pulled out and dropped, basically, withdrew their subpoenas. Why? Because that letter that was then released on Friday, I believe, or Thursday, I can't remember, the the tag content creator list was finally unsealed, and they realized, like, none of these people's names were on this list. This was a big old list of bullshit, and they lied about all of these names being on a list. So where did these content creators' names come from? No one knows. We still don't know. But of course, as people do on that side, they like to spin and change the narrative. And of course, they tried to kind of say that there was still a reason that they subpoenaed all these creators, and there was an actual important thing that happened, and there was some reason that this happened for the case, right? Basically, they got what they wanted from the subpoenas, which is bullshit because they got nothing. So Ezra Hudson spun this once again, that they got something from these subpoenaed people. But people like Lauren, Leanne, Ken's, all of these women, mostly women, of course, there's Andy and there's Perez, there's a couple men, did not give them shit. And it's very frustrating that the judge is allowing this kind of behavior to be put out there, that these attorneys are putting this kind of narrative that, yes, these creators were subpoenaed. And after having a conversation with them, basically, we were able to get what we needed from them. So we withdrew their subpoena. But these people are our friends. These people are people that we are speaking to. And they gave them nothing. They gave them absolutely nothing. So I don't know what they feel that they got in this subpoena, but they got nothing. They actually physically got nothing. Now, a couple of you guys are saying that they got names and addresses. Okay. They also could have gotten names and addresses through Googling. Truly. I mean, it's really not that hard in this day and age to get names and addresses if you're a lawyer. Like, that's not the hardest thing in the world to get. So I don't actually believe that that's the case. What I do believe is that it was a massive, massive error on Blank Lively's attorney. Ezra Hudson, there's been a couple flaws. We call it like it is, Zach and I. We've said that Brian Friedman has made errors in this case. This was a massive, massive error on Ezra Hudson's side, because it does nothing except make Blank Lively look like a bully. Blank and her team look like a bully. And I don't personally believe that there was any win out of this that would have, I would say, overstepped or trumped the loss of the PR that she got from subpoenaing small content creators. Now, a lot of you guys are saying she's going to try to get a gag order. She's going to try to get names and addresses, this and this and that. You guys, there is no way, whatever she continues to do with these small content creators, there's no way she's going to win anything that will ever beat the losses she will get if she messes with these content creators once again. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Now, what bothered me the most personally, and like I said, I'm looking at this from a zoomed out perspective, was when I was texting with some of the content creators that got subpoenaed. And I said, this was a Martini Inn. Okay. So I'm just going to be honest. I'm giving you guys the raw and uncensored honest. This is Saturday night, one Martini Inn after not a lot of food in Chicago alone. I was drinking alone, waiting for Zach to land. And I was texting and I was like, I'm pissed. You guys should, this was when the subpoenas were withdrawn. I said, I am freaking pissed. You guys should get money. Not only should you get money for the lawyers that you've had to hire, but your time. But also, your name will always be now synonymous with, in a Google search, a content creator that was subpoenaed as someone that was smearing Blake Lively. Whether or not it was founded to be true or not, you were subpoenaed in a case as a content creator who was potentially part of a smear campaign to smear an actress as a content creator. I said, you need to get money back. Go for big bucks. Like, you need to write a letter. Is there a class action lawsuit? This and that. And this person that I was messaging said, I don't have the money to like hire a lawyer here. I said, I wish that there was a lawyer that would take this on as like a pro bono, because I think the marketing and the promotion, like just for being a lawyer to take this on for free, I think would be amazing for them. But it also could be so hard to take on Blake Lively and her attorneys. Like, I just feel like it would be so difficult to go against that. But I think at least ask for those sanctions, meaning at least ask for some money back. Judge Liman should at least have the decency. This was Saturday, remember? At least have the freaking decency to give back these small content creators a few $1,000s, $5,000 for their time, for their energy, for their humiliation, for their fear, for their anxiety, for their time, for their energy, for their effort, for their monetary losses in hiring a lawyer. Maybe monetary losses in stopping content creating for the time period that they were scared to talk about Blake Lively, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And what happened? He denied every single one of them asking for money. Judge Liman, in one fell swoop, denied these content creators from getting any amount of money paid for all of their energy and time. I'm sorry. Content creators were not asked to be part of this lawsuit just by talking about a case. That means that Ashley Banfield should be part of a lawsuit, or she's asking to be part of a lawsuit. Emily D. Baker is asking to be part of a lawsuit. Peter Tragos is asking. Every single person online speaking about the Kohberger case is asking to be covering it. Every true crime, every serialistly, Annie Elise is asking for it. No one is asking to be part of a court case just because they are covering court cases. The fact that they got dragged into it and did not get any sort of sanctions, did not get any financial, I am so sorry that we pulled you into this, stressed you out, dragged your name through the mud, got you involved into all of this shit with all of these disgusting, pro Blake people that made you look horrible. And you know who I'm talking about. I don't even want to mention their names, that basically said, you guys are part of a smear campaign. You guys got paid by Wayfarer to create content. You guys are disgusting human beings. I mean, basically in so many terms. And it was all fake. It was fake news. They weren't even on a list. They get nothing back from Judge Liman. I'm sorry. This is injustice 101. This is the kind of stuff I don't like seeing. So that to me is where I draw the line with this guy. I mean, I keep drawing the goalpost keeps moving with Liman. Like, next thing we know, he's going to be at dinner at Blake's house. He's going to be like swimming in Blake's pool. No, he's going to be in an ad for Astronomer. That's where I'm going to say, like, that's the next step with this scandal. He will be sitting in an ad for Astronomer, and Ryan Reynolds and Maximum Effort will be directing it. We'll talk about that in just a second. And it's still not going to be too weird, right? Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so sick. It's if there's nothing too far at this point, right? Can you just imagine that all of a sudden he's going to be sitting there? I can't. It's too much for me. Now, meanwhile, Blake Lively supposedly, and we have no confirmation whatsoever on this. Supposedly, we have a uh, delayed deposition. This is according to Daily Mail and according to Us Weekly. I know Zach just covered it on his show that Ellsrich has said, is this true or is this not? We don't know. Was it a change of words from now or not? We don't know. Is the deposition going to be in 2 days on July 31st? The third scheduled deposition. She's gone from the beginning of July to July 17th to now July 31st. Will it or will it not be? We don't know. Daily Mail is saying it will no longer take place on July 31st. I have absolutely no idea. July 31st is when it's supposed to be, and they're claiming it's not, but it's not on any docket. No one has claimed that officially, so there's no confirmation whatsoever. But I will never forget that I got that email from someone who used to work in this legal world alongside a lot of these people, not connected to Wayfair. Want to be very clear, not connected to any of the defending parties here, just used to work in the legal world and was very clear and said, I have a feeling that Blake Lively will never sit down for that deposition. I don't know how that works, but I guess she has until the end of discovery. But we'll have to see what happens there. Blank Lively is blank space. Like she's just never going to show up. She's just literally never going to show up. So she's just her hands. She has too much to talk about. Now, Ryan Reynolds was directing her for her deposition, like working with her, working on the script, working on everything. But he had to take a break, of course, because he then had to work on Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, this was shocking to me. Not really, actually, because it's so typical of the upside down world that we're living in right now. It is so typical of the upside down world that we're living in. But if there was ever a like our worlds collided when my favorite scandal of all of the world last week or 2 weeks, the Coldplay CEO scandal. And when I say favorite, I don't mean that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the craziness of it, but I didn't enjoy the fallout of it because when you think about the fact that 2 families got ruined because Coldplay put their faces on their, screen, I could not believe when I was on the plane yesterday and I saw that of all people that created, directed, and of course produced this ad for Astronomer with Gwyneth Paltrow, it was none other than Ryan Reynolds' company Maximum Effort. And the fact that this is happening is such, like, we're definitely not living in the right timeline. Or we're definitely, what is it, Mandela effect? Or what is it where it's like, what timeline are we on? Or what do they say when it's like something happened? There was a shift in the timeline. Or maybe this is like Back to the Future, like Biff's world or something. Like, I can't remember exactly what it is, but that's what it feels like it is. It feels like we're all messed up here because I don't know exactly what's happening. First, I'm going to let you guys watch the ad if you haven't seen it already. Obviously, Gwyneth Paltrow, who, don't get mad at me, I've become a fan of, used to not be able to stand her, just bought her new book, came out today, that it's like an it's a memoir, but she didn't write it. It's a book about her. It's by the same writer who wrote the Anna Wintour book. I just bought it on Audible, so I will be listening to it today. Now, she is obviously Chris Martin, CEO, Coldplay CEO, Coldplay guy. She is his ex. They have a very strong relationship. Gwyneth is in on the joke always. Remember, she was in on the Meghan Markle joke. She invited Meghan Markle over for lunch when they compared Meghan and Gwyneth. She likes to be in on these jokes. So she was in on this joke. The question is, whose idea was this? Did Maximum Effort get paid, or did they pay to be part of this? That is what I need to know. Yes, a glitch in the matrix. That is what I was meaning to say. And yes, we are in the upside down in so many ways. I can't even tell you. But let's first watch the ad, and then we'll talk about the fact that it's Maximum Effort, which is made me want to vomit. But okay, whatever. Here you go.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300 plus employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones. Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow, unifying the experience of running data, ML, and AI pipelines at scale. We've been thrilled so many people have a newfound interest in data workflow automation. As for the other questions we've received, yes, there is still room available at our Beyond Analytics event in September. We will now be returning to what we do best, delivering game-changing results for our customers. Thank you for your interest in Astronomer.
So, look, when I first saw, thank you, Crystal, for your super chat. When I first saw the ad, I have to say, I thought the ad was kind of genius. I'm not going to lie. I hate to do it. I thought it was like, whoa. I said to myself, if anyone's going to do this, it's going to be Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, it's so good. The fact that they pulled someone from Coldplay. But here's the thing. Astronomer needed to take control of the situation, right? Astronomer was synonymous with like, what the hell happened at this company? They obviously had the worst HR. They had the worst CEO. Everyone was coming out saying like, I despise CEO. I despise this Gundy Byron that runs the company. The HR team is F. Like, who is this company? They needed to take control of their PR. So I love the fact that they got Gwyneth Paltrow to do it. All of that is genius. The question is, I didn't realize it was Maximum Effort until yesterday. And now that I know it's Maximum Effort, Ryan Reynolds, now I hate it. And I hate that I hate it because I didn't mind it before. But this is what it says. Thank you for your interest in Maximum Effort, Astronomer IO. We'll now get back to what we do best. Motion pictures with Hugh Jackman, fast advertising, and Wrexham football. We'll leave data workflow automation to Gwyneth Astronomer. They crossed off Gwyneth Paltrow. Okay. Of course, Maximum Effort has to make it about themselves. Ryan Reynolds has to make it about him. Because let's be real, this isn't even about Maximum Effort. They could have just said, thanks for your interest in Maximum Effort. We had so much fun making this ad. Like, they had to make it funny. They had to make it obnoxious. They had to make it annoying. They had to make it disgustingly like, Hugh Jackman? Why are they bringing up Hugh Jackman here? And Wrexham. Like, Ryan Reynolds is so self-serving in everything he goddamn does. That's everything. He can't just, for once, just make it about someone else. Every single thing he does has to involve himself. I can't handle it. He's so annoying. He needed to make this about him. He needed to. And like, sure, yes, it's an exciting get for him. But they could have said just Maximum Effort was involved in this. That's so cool. Like, they could have just said They didn't need to bring up Hugh Jackman and Wrexham. He's so obnoxious. But the comments are amazing, right? Most people are not really happy about it. Of course, some people are like, like, the comment section is crazy here. But most people here are not happy. You ever going to apologize for the giant mess you made trying to ruin Justin Baldoni's life when you promoted It Ends With Us? Ryan, your buddy ex-patriarch UK harassing female content creators isn't making your troubles go away, shit pool. Oh, wow, that's good. LOL, what you do best? Lame promos with a cheater like Hugh Jackman and an owner that has a receding hairline with a forehead as wide as any soccer field Wrexham has played on? Okay. That's crazy. Two smug, arrogant, tacky, tone-deaf multimillionaires collaborating together, creating a smug, arrogant, tacky, tone-deaf commercial. Yep, sounds about right. Oh, man. Maximum effort is as funny as Ryan's perineum. Here's another one. These are the same geniuses who thought it was a good idea to promote a movie about domestic violence in a lighthearted way with florals and booze and hair care products. Oh my God. Okay. So the point is that there's a reason this guy has to still have his comments off. And I don't like I don't hate it for us, because at least we are able to see what the reality is out there in terms of the public. Even though the media is still, of course, kissing Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's ass, the public isn't. Now, a lot of people are saying at least Gwyneth Paltrow is on the, we know where she stands. I wouldn't go that far, you guys. I don't know. Look, I would imagine she has long ties with Ryan Reynolds. Yes. She's besties with Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck and that whole like crew. She's known them forever. She used to date Ben. Like, you guys think about like the ties in this space, agents and managers and who they used to date. And I'm sure Gwyneth and Blake Lively have known each other forever and whatever. I don't know who likes who and who's friends with who and whatever. I just imagine, you guys, this was a major moneymaker for Gwyneth. This was a huge moneymaker, and it was a huge pop culture moment. She wanted to be in on the joke. I'm sure Chris Martin was like, you got to do it. I would never look at this right here as like, oh my God, she's choosing Blake and Ryan over Justin Baldoni in her thought process over I wouldn't look that deep into this. If she was in an ad with Ryan Reynolds holding his hand in Blake Lively and being like, I love you guys, that would be a little bit different. Of course, on the Justin Baldoni side, while I was out of town, they celebrated their 12-year anniversary. He and Emily was very cute, very understated. They just sent really sweet pictures out on Instagram. Of course, for Justin and Emily, who do not post on Instagram almost ever, ever, ever. It was a very sweet moment. Of course, their comments can stay open because, as Stu said on Zach Peters' stage, he said they've got nothing to hide. They're not hiding shit. So they keep their comments open, and they have overwhelmingly positive comments. But then, of course, Daily Mail spun it and posted a article that said Justin Baldoni posts an anniversary post with his wife, and no celebrities supported it except Rebecca Gayheart Dane, who, by the way, I love so much. Rebecca Gayheart Dane. She follows me. We're friendly on social media. She's the original Noxzema girl, better known as, now I can't remember. Who did she play on Beverly Hills 90210 with the curly hair? My God, I love her so much. She supports the cause, if you know what I mean. She supports Justin the way I love her. So that is that. I will say, let's move on from talking about that wild story. Oh, Justin Baldoni did have his supporter speak out, who was the most amazing. She spoke so nicely she's a choreographer, a survivor. She worked with Justin over on a documentary, and she is a choreographer on Dancing with the Stars, and she spoke incredibly kindly about Justin. And it was a wonderfully well-written post that she said, I don't just think that Justin's innocent. I know he is. And I'm thinking to myself, haven't really seen a lot of those from Blake's side. But anyway. All right, you guys, we got to move into our next story. Now, of course, as you know, I really struggle covering this story. I do, believe it or not. I know that some of you guys don't believe that, but I really do struggle with this one because it's about a family. It's about a family. It's about mental illness, and it's about addiction. But I cover it because we talk about Jax Taylor. We talk about Brittany Cartwright. We talk about all these other like TikTok falling apart situations. We talk about all of these things that are happening on Instagram and TikTok. And this is happening in front of our eyes. It's happening on Daily Mail. It's happening right in front of us with Kelley Wolf and Scott Wolf. And I can't get over how wild it keeps getting. And this morning was insane. And I am officially going to say that when it comes to Scott Wolf and Kelley Wolf, I am 1000% on Scott Wolf's side here, 1,000,000% on Scott Wolf's side. And I don't feel bad for Kelley anymore. And this is why. Without even knowing the details, obviously I'm not there. Okay. I am not there. I don't live with them. I am not behind the scenes, but I feel like we know enough now covering this or watching this from outside for a month, almost 2 months now. From an outsider's perspective, Kelley Wolf has been showing her cards on her Instagram stories and her Instagram feed every single day, minus a couple days here and there where she goes off the grid. Every single once in a while, when she goes on into like a involuntary hold, a mental, a detention center. She's done that twice. She's gone into involuntary holds, then she'll come out, but she'll go off the grid for maybe 24 hours at a time. But other than that, like we're seeing everything. Okay. We're seeing everything she's showing us. Scott Wolf, on the other hand, the man who was given sole custody of the children, the 3 children that they have that are under 18, and also was for a while giving a temporary restraining order against his separated wife, Kelley Wolf, is literally feeling absolutely probably at a loss for words, doesn't know how to handle the situation. I don't know what you do next when you're dealing with an adult female or male. I would say this about a woman or a man who is an adult, who you've tried as hard as you can to be, hold by saying, that they're a danger to themselves, maybe a danger to others. They are not well. We need to put them on some sort of like a medication or something, and they will not do it. Like we're talking Britney Spears situation. We're talking Kanye at the height of all of it. Like it is not going well. So this morning, over the weekend when I was in Chicago, I was getting DMs from you guys always send me all the Kelley Wolf stuff. And I was getting DMs from people saying, "Oh my God, Kelley Wolf is, posting everything on the weekend. She was going to like the street fair, like a country fair. She is with this new guy who I don't even know who he is. I mean, he has a public profile. It says he's an entrepreneur. He created like a pillow or whatever, but she's posting with this new guy. And remember, like she's not officially divorced. She doesn't have access to her kids really. Not because Scott is like keeping her from the kids. We've seen already a text message. He's like, I want you to have visitation with the kids, but you need to talk to the supervisor. You need to talk to the person that has, the person that you want to speak to. Like there's got to be that supervisor. It seems that Scott is trying very desperately to work with her, and she is not capable of seeing things for what they really are, is what I think. Or from what we're seeing here. So she's posting all weekend at this fair. She's going live on Instagram every day now. And she's like, I am so happy. I'm with this new man. I'm so good. I'm so good. And I'm thinking to myself, this is devastating to imagine if you're Scott or if you're the kids. Like you lost your kids. You're not with your kids. You're not with your husband. And yet you're out here on a Saturday night, like living your best life, so happy, so in love with this new man. I don't know. I feel like as a mom, as a dad, you're not with your kids. You can't be with your kids. I would think you'd be really upset. Like that's just my feeling. That's where I would be. If I wasn't able to be with my kids, I probably wouldn't be at a fair on a Saturday night living my best life. Like I would be devastated. I would be like, how do I get my kids back? Obviously, there's a mistake. Obviously, there's an issue. something's going on. Now, we've already seen her go live. I reported on it, I want to say last Monday or 2 Mondays ago. I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, it was last Monday, I think, where she went live, and it was where she was sitting on her balcony drinking at lunch, and it was just really, really odd. And her brain was just all over the place. You could tell she wasn't able to have a coherent thought. And then the last thing she posted was like on the weekend, where it's just a picture in the middle of the day of 2 beers and a cake. And she was like, I'm bored. And somehow all she's posting is her drinking all day, every day, right? So last night, or this morning when I wake up, I get a text message or a DM from someone saying like, oh my God, alert, like this is what she's posting. And it is a story, or it's a post, and this is what the caption says. Tonight it says 1 a.m. from Kelley here, and I'll show you what it says, and you guys can read it with me. "1 a.m. Tonight, I had 2 choices: sleep in my car again or use a room that had been booked for me at what used to be my favorite hotel in Utah. I chose neither because dignity matters. I have $6 to my name. My brother supports me. Let that sink in. After building a career as one of the most exclusive consultants in the world, and if you don't believe me, then you were never in the room where it happened, I'm now living inside a system that tried to erase me. My own mother called me a drug addict this morning. This after seeing the extensive toxicology reports from 2 involuntary psychiatric holds, both of which showed no drugs, no diagnosis, just this line: Kelley incited a riot and turned patients against staff. Well, Mom, that part's true. No drugs, but yes, I still rise up against injustice. I still speak truth when I see abuse. I couldn't stay silent, not when men and women were being labeled as crazy, held up for up to 180 days, and forced to take drugs against their will. I helped 3 people get out last week. I will help more." And then, hold on, there's a second part of it. Hold on, that's the one I just shared. What? Oh, yeah. I will help more. I'm not done until every woman who asked for freedom and got a sentence instead is safe, is seen, is free. Let's be even clearer. That temporary restraining order, it would have kept me in Summit Behavioral indefinitely. If I had believed the accusations, the labels, the whispered threats, I would still be inside. But I'm not. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm laughing. I'm camping. I'm dating someone kind and awake. I'm in a beautiful home tonight because a man who barely knew me saw the truth and acted with integrity. To those who've called, defended, asked, cried, texted, "Are you okay? I believe you. I'm so sorry. I will never forget you. When I'm back in my full flow, you'll know who you bet on, the right so-called crazy girl from Arkansas." And one last thing, I was told I was banned from a hotel where I'd once stayed under an alias, asked for peace and healing, and shared twice that I didn't feel safe. Now I'm banned. Isn't that odd? Okay. So while you can see this and think to yourself, oh my gosh, this is awful. Like, this sounds horrible, because that's what that sounds like. That sounds awful. That sounds horrible. I'm going to tell you that just in that one little thing, there's like 6 things that she's saying that are not true. Because she says, I am right now in the home of a man who took me in. But later, just a couple hours later, she decides to go live on Instagram. Okay? Well, actually, let me take you back. This morning on Daily Mail, an article comes out. And it says, it's on Daily Mail saying, Scott Wolf's ex Kelley claims she only has $6 to my name, despite court-ordered $10,000 month allowance. Okay? She has $10,000 a month from Scott Wolf for living costs in a divorce agreement just signed 10 days ago. She already said, she talked about how she has no money. And then she says that she spent the night in a beautiful home with a man, even though she has $10,000 a month from him, but she says she has $6 to her name. And this is the craziest part about this woman, because this is the stuff that I really, truly can't handle about Kelley. And this is where I've come, because at first I was like, I feel bad for her. And I still do. I trust me, I feel bad for her. But I'm losing it with her, because there is no truth to any of what she's saying anymore. Anything that comes out of her mouth is not coming from the right. It's not coming from the right. Well, there's no reality is really what it is. Because she is now claimed in her live video, later on, she went live. And she said, when I tell you, this was the craziest live video. I didn't call her crazy. I'm saying this was the craziest live video I have ever seen, maybe in all my time. This was up there with, like, I was talking to my friend with, like, OJ. This was an OJ Simpson Bronco live. Okay. I was like, when I watched it, it's still on her Instagram. It's still up there. She went live. Run the World says 10K isn't very much in California. She's in Park City. She was staying at her family's. By her family, I mean her mom and dad were giving her a cabin to stay in. And she is no longer allowed to be there. She says, my mom called me a drug addict. She believes that she has no problems. Okay. She believes that everyone else is the problem and she's okay. She has now said that she has made millions and millions of dollars in the last year. She's driving in her car on an Instagram live, driving. We don't know to where. And she's talking about how she's on her way to buy a property. She wants to get money right now to buy a property, to buy more land, because America's a free place and you can buy a property. We don't know where she's going on this Instagram live, but she eventually gets to this Instagram live. And it's at her home, her family home with Scott Wolf and her children, where they live and reside currently, 3 under 18 kids. And she gets to this home to get her belongings and her money. And there's cops there, because those cops, she called and said to her cops, she said to the cops, I'm glad you're here. I want you to be here. I told them I was coming. Now, I don't believe Scott and the kids were there, because I'm sure they knew she was going to come. But these cops, I have no idea if they've done research. I have no idea who they are. I have no idea what these cops were, because they didn't ask her questions. They asked her, do you have a restraining order? And she's like, no, not anymore. And they were like, okay. They just took her word for it. She tries to get into the front door. By the way, she's on Instagram Live with 1,500 people, and she's filming the entire thing. She tries to get into the front door. They changed the code. Understandably, she can't get into the front door. The cops are like, well, maybe you can get in through the garage. This is your home after all. You can get in, right? She's like, oh, that's smart. And she starts to tell the cops, I had to sleep in my car last night, which is lie number one, right? She just said, I slept in a man's house last night. I had to sleep in my car last night. Then she starts to tell the cops that she was involuntary hold in 2 mental detaining centers or whatever. And the cops are like, keep trying to get into your house. Try the window. Try this. So then, you guys, I thought I was taking crazy pills. She gives the cop her phone and she says, "Can you hold this? Can you hold this up and film me?" And the cop is like, "Okay." So she gives the cop the phone. She goes, "Don't look at it. Just hold it up and film me." Because there's 1,500 people live watching this. As the cop is holding her, try to break into her son's bedroom. So she's teaching the world how to break into her house. She's like, "Yeah, this window is usually open. I can usually get in through this window." So the cop is holding the phone. We don't really see the cops. We just see Kelley. And she's trying to open the window. And she's like, "Oh, this is the window where girls usually sneak into my son's bedroom. So I know it's usually open." I was dying. "Oh, it's closed." And then she goes, "Oh, this other window is usually open." And the cops are like, "Let's go there." And they go over to another window. And the cops are like, "Try to open that screen." And so she puts the phone here and she's like, "Can you hold the phone again?" And then over there. And the girl starts pulling off a screen and it's ripping the screen. She starts breaking a screen off of her husband's home. And I say it's her husband's home because, like, she's not living there. Her husband and her kids are there. And she's ripping the screen. Like, the screen is actually ripping in half. And the cops are filming her do it. And she has just told them that she just got out of 2 involuntary hospital stays, mental hospital stays. And they're filming her break into her home. I thought I was like, "You guys want to know if this is the upside down? This is the upside down." And they're like, "This." And she's like, "Oh, look, my plants are doing well. Oh, it looks cute in there. And the cops are like, "So you can't get in, huh?" And that was the moment that I said, wow, it really must be nice being pretty. And I'm not joking you when I tell you this. If she was not a beautiful woman, this would not happen. Kelley Wolf is gorgeous. Like, even breaking and entering into her home and not mentally sound, she still is stunning and she still seems calm. And I believe that if she wasn't gorgeous, she would not be treated the way she's treated. These cops treated her like a princess. She's telling the cops, "Yeah, we're famous. We're famous and a lot of people follow us and a lot of people." And she's breaking into the house. Did they even check her ID? They didn't even check her ID. She could have been anyone. I have never to this day seen anything like it. Scott Wolf, this poor man. So then at the end of this, when she's like not able to break into her own home, she ends up putting the phone down. She's like, okay, she tells her Instagram live audience, "I'll be right back." The Instagram live ends. She saves it to her feed. And there's like 1 or 2 comments, including her 16-year-old son. Her 16-year-old son leaves a comment and he says, "Mom, this is insane. What are you doing?" He's a public account and it's right there on her reel. Suki's right. And she's white. If she wasn't, this would not go this way in any way. She's right. Oh, she also had the balls to tell the cop. I really don't want, I wrote it down. Hold on. Let me go to my notes. I wrote it down. I'm not joking. She actually had the balls to tell the cops, "I'm trying to get through this hearing with no shenanigans." She doesn't think she's doing anything wrong. I could not handle it. Then those cops need to be like questioned. Like, I could not believe what I was watching. Can you imagine a man just randomly comes to my house and was like, Yeah. I'm going to just come in. Is that cool? Like, how did that happen? So then an hour later, I get another DM. She's live again. I'm like, oh my God, this is right before this show. She goes live again, but it's like in her pocket. Like you don't really see anything, but you hear it. And she's talking to a woman. And she says to the woman, can I get 3 of them? And the woman says, you can't pick up all 3 because it's a controlled substance. And she's like, oh man, I can't. I want all 3. She goes, you can't. You can only pick up 1 per day. And then she looks at her phone. She's like, oh shit, I'm live. And then hangs it up. I can't. I don't know what's going on, but like, obviously it's kind of good for Scott's case that this is all being recorded and this is all being filmed and this is all being like documented. But like, what do you do about mental illness in this world? What do you do about mental illness? I don't know if it's just addiction. I think it's addiction, mental illness. It's all of the things. It's a bad cocktail. But she's a mother. Those poor kids. I just feel so bad. And I don't know how long this has been going on. Natalia is asking, how long has this been going on? I have absolutely no idea because I just started really following in June. But a lot of people that have been following for a long time have no idea, like that had no idea that she had this in her for a while. So that this is all new. It's so sad. It's so sad. But I mean, I'm on Scott Wolf's side here, 100% whatsoever. I mean, fully, not whatsoever, fully. It was crazy. It was really, really a crazy, crazy morning. Okay. So let's move on and talk about some other things. Yeah. Just a couple other smaller stories. To follow up about Friday with Denise Richards. Remember how Denise Richards' ex, Aaron, released all of those crazy videos and photos from our boyfriend Rudy Rees and Ray's and Denise Richards texting or sexting or whatever? Well, now she is pissed. She is accusing him of stealing her laptop and nude photos. And here's the thing, like, are you just allowed to release someone's private messages to the press? I don't think so. I've seen this story before with the Van Zandt lawsuit. Like, you're not allowed to do that, are you? I think what Aaron Phyphers did with Denise Richards is completely wrong. That's not okay, right? I didn't even think about this last week when we were talking about the story, but her divorce from Aaron Phyphers is even messier because now she's claiming he violated the restraining order against him and stole the laptop with the nude photos. So she filed these documents on Monday today saying that he violated the restraining order by disturbing the peace. When he did that, when he sent the private information to the media, like he doesn't care. He is more interested in smearing her name and like ruining her life and her reputation by sending the text messages and naked pics. She's asking the judge to order Aaron to return the laptop and all of its pictures, along with any cell phones he has of hers. She also wants him to be prohibited from using, delivering, copying, printing, or disclosing any text messages, emails, photos, notes, or any other content from her cell phone or laptop of any of her electronic devices. Absolutely 1000% Team Denise here. I don't care if she cheated. I don't care if she did anything. He doesn't have a right to her private stuff. Get that stuff back. It is not okay. Revenge porn. Exactly. Get that back. And I can't believe TMZ, now that I think about it, or who ran it. I don't even know if it was TMZ, Daily Mail, who actually ran that, knowing that that wasn't his. Now that I think about it, that's me going into like someone's private stuff and releasing it. Like, that's actually crazy that they did that. Now that I think about it, are you allowed to release that? It's one thing if you send it out or like release it, and then it's another thing. Are you allowed to publish it without having rights to it? Now that I think about it, do you get in trouble for publishing someone's private information? I hope that judge slams Aaron down with that. That is effed up the more I think about that. I really, really don't like that at all. It really upsets me. Diddy wants to get released from prison. And I want a lot of things. I want so many things right now. So Diddy tries to get a $50 million get out of jail card as his sentencing and appeal looms. His attorneys are saying that he should not be in jail for this conduct. In a letter sent to Judge Arun today, Subramanian today, his attorneys, his defense attorneys say the prosecution and continued incarceration of Sean Combs are unique in the history of the Mann Act. They're offering up to a $50 million bond secured by Mr. Combs' home in Miami, as well as travel and interaction restrictions. He's set to be sentenced on October 3rd on the dual counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. And if a guilty verdict had been delivered, he would have been spending the rest of his life in a federal prison instead of the 2 or 3 years he'll likely receive in the fall, with the time already served factored in. It says there has literally never been a case like this one where a person and his girlfriend arranged for adult men to have consensual sexual relations with the adult long-term girlfriend as part of a demonstrated swingers lifestyle and has been prosecuted and incarcerated under the Mann Act. Racism and misogyny have been brought up in previous moves to get their client out of custody. Misogyny is just everyone's go-to, right? Like, never in the world before has misogyny been used for a white woman, Blake Lively, and a black man, Diddy. Like, how in the world is misogyny just like always a thing? Misogyny is used for anyone. Black, white, men, women, like just misogyny. You don't like, I don't like this flavor. You're a misogyny. You're a misogynist. It says Combs and 2 of his longtime girlfriends had a private, intimate life that is not uncommon today. It may not have been common on June 25th, 1910, when the Mann Act, or as it was originally called, the White Slave Traffic Act, was passed. But attitudes about sex and morality have come a long way in the last 115 years. Sean Combs should not be in jail for this conduct. In fact, he may be the only person currently in a United States jail for being any sort of John, and certainly the only person in jail for hiring adult male escorts for him and his girlfriend when he did not even have sex with the escort himself. Here's the thing. I don't know if it's not going to work. Like, I don't know. We'll see. More shocking things have happened, right? It's possible that he will actually get out of jail, right? Because we may not want, but the law states what the law states. So like, we don't know. They may be able to find a way out, right? Because unfortunately, we don't like certain things about the law, but it may happen. And then finally, you guys wanted me to cover the Sydney Sweeney thing. Okay, obviously the Sydney Sweeney ad. Well, as you guys know, American Eagle hired Sydney Sweeney for their ad. And over the weekend, actually, I just kind of picked up on it yesterday when I was flying home, that a lot of people are dubbing it an example of white supremacy just because she's blonde with blue eyes. She does have family members that are apparently MAGA, and the ad says that she is, she has good genes because she comes from blonde and blue. She has blonde hair and blue eyes, and she has good genes. So all I can say is this. I'm Jewish. I do not think she's a Nazi. People are calling her a Nazi. People are saying this is definitely white supremacy, casual white supremacy, while they're running around actually like being okay with like actual moments of, other things that seem to align a lot more with that. I think that we are fighting the wrong battles. Sydney Sweeney is not a battle that I think we need to fight in reality. I think she's hot. I'm a fan of Sydney Sweeney's look. Like, guys, I think Sydney Sweeney's hot. Now, a lot of people that I know don't. A lot of people think Sydney Sweeney is not a hottie. I think Sydney Sweeney is hot. I'm sorry. Don't at me here. I'm sorry. I think she's really, really pretty. But I just can't believe that we are in a position in our lives that people are like so upset and calling it an example of fascism and Nazism when we are literally at a time in 2025 where people are literally in podcast studios saying that Hitler was right. Like, how in the world can we put Sydney Sweeney looking sexy and hot in jeans on the same level? I can't deal with that. That's my thing. For some reason, we are in such a place of being so scared to just be okay with anything that we have to find issue. When I say we, I'm not this way personally. I'm just not. I understand, but I think a lot of people are so quick to find anything wrong with anything that they are really, really finding everything wrong with everything. And when you find everything wrong with everything, then nothing really feels like anything's wrong. You can't trivialize and minimalize the word Nazi because then real Nazis get away with being Nazis. And people that are just normal or maybe like assholes or whatever get away with being called. If you call everyone a Nazi, then no one's a Nazi. It's like Brittany Cartwright. When you're a friend to everyone, you're a friend to no one. Sheena Shea. Like, you can't call everything bad because then nothing's bad. That's how I feel about that. I could show you guys the original ad, and then I want to show you guys my favorite part of the ad, or my favorite take on the ad. And that's what I'll show you guys in just a second. Now, American Eagle is supposedly killing it. Their numbers are through the roof. I haven't shopped at American Eagle in a long time, I will tell you that. But I used to shop there all the time. They're taking advantage of this, as they should. As they should. People are losing their minds. There's a lot of the ads, but let's find one of them.
Hi, I'm Sydney Sweeney, and I'm from Spokane, Washington. I can work as a local hire as well, though, and I'm available for the American Eagle jeans campaign shoot.
Profile and hands, please. Thanks. We'll be in touch.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
Next.
Okay, that's all it was. Listen to this comment that gets 1,500 likes. Ew, this is not the collab I was expecting from AE. So sad. Whoever is running the company is ruining it with these tasteless choices. Used to love working here. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? What? Why? Next one. Just a picture of her looking smoking hot. It says Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Okay, next one. Start putting up the pictures.
Sydney Sweeney has great jeans.
This first comment, Jesus Christ, this is such a fucked up campaign. What? It's giving, oh my God, this is the best. It's giving subtle 1930s Germany. Oh my God, these people are psycho. In 1930s Germany, Jews were being murdered. And she's putting up an ad. What is wrong with these psychotic people? These people are psycho. And by the way, not only Jews were being murdered, Black people were being murdered, gays were being murdered, any minority was being murdered. Okay? And this reminds me, if you do anything, watch the Billy Joel documentary on HBO Max because it's so amazing. Anyway, I'm so obsessed with Billy Joel because of this documentary. Anyway, it's one of the best well-done documentaries I've ever seen, maybe of all time. But in the second part, in the first hour, he talks about his history of being Jewish. And it goes into detail about his father and his grandfather, of how they were erased as Jews growing up in Germany. And when I tell you I cried, fuck you with this comment. It's giving 1930s Germany. Fuck you. Like, fuck you, the Greendale Witch 94. Here's just her looking cute in cute jeans. Here's another one.
I bet you want to try these jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
Okay, so it's just like a bunch of ads. Okay, there's a bunch. Now, I'm going to show you guys my favorite take on it. My favorite take on it is Michael Pavano, who did the best Blake Lively ad ever. I mean, not Blake Lively. I mean, the best Blake Lively impersonations ever. Remember when she did the short film about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds? Watch this.
It's down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like your hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue, so they're like better than yours. They say people with blonde hair and blue eyes are nature's favorite. I don't say it, but they do. But I buy it. I mean, who wouldn't want my jeans? I know you do, you dirty boy. Let's be so real. Tight blue jeans from American Eagle is the only denim I'll put on my body. And it's not just the denim that's tight. This pure blue denim is clinging to me for dear life, and I let it. I like it when they stretch super wide and slide right in. I mean on. What's that? You want raw denim? Only if you're lucky. They hug all the right places, and some very wrong ones. I try my hardest to button them up, one snap at a time. My hands are shaking. My core is engaged. My pelvic floor is lifted higher than my dog after he got into my batch of special brownies. By the time I finally get them all in, I'm sweating. I'm gasping. I'm... Sorry. Is it the denim or the blood flow being cut off at my hips because they're so tight? Go and get yourself a pair of Sydney's blue jeans. Only at Baskin Robbins. Whoops. Wrong brand deal.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Oh my goodness, he's so good. He can be anyone. Michael Pavano is like a genius. That man is a genius. He can literally turn into everyone. He's so good. Thank you guys so much for being here and supporting Daily Dose of Donna and subscribing and liking the episode. I will be back tomorrow for another episode. I appreciate you guys. And that is that. I appreciate you guys. I'll release a Patreon later today, telling you guys all about Chicago and more stuff over the weekend. Love you. Bye.